So we'd mentioned your father, Bill Morris.
Yes, yes.
I think he is a living legend. So let's tell us about your dad.
Okay, so my dad is, I think I mentioned Lord Morris of Handsworth,
Mm-hmm.
and for those, as I say, of a certain age, they may remember him as the very first black trade unionist in this country.
Yeah.
Um, he was there. He rose to be the head of the Transport and General Workers Union. So yeah, so that's my claim to fame, as it were.
That's quite
That's
amazing. So, what kind of did you when you were at home? What did you see? Anything? Did you feel that your dad? Because everybody's parents are like amazingly huge
yeah.
statues in their life, but did you feel that your dad had this power that he was?
Um, I don't know. To me, and I think to my brother as well, he was just our dad.
Mm,
So he was quite a stern person.
yes.
He didn't
He did.
he didn't really talk as much as my mom. My mom chatted all the time, but not so much my dad. And I think probably a lot of it was due to the weight of what he the job that he had as
Mm,
head of the TNG. But he as I say, was quite a quiet person. But at the end of the day, to me, he was just my dad with all his good points, his bad points, and I didn't really have too much of a sense until later on about what he did, and the odd time he used to take us on a picket line, which we absolutely hated,
of course.
because we used to have to get up really early to go on these
Oh
picket
gosh.
lines
Yes.
and
No
marches,
child
and
wants to get up early, and as an adult, I
that's
still
right.
don't want to. So never
That's right.
mind.
Yeah, and I was thinking, why do we have to do this? But of course, as he rose through the union ranks, we got a sense that he was somebody important because he kept on popping up on television,
Yes.
and also he was in the papers. So eventually, we got to realise that he was, that he had another significant life outside of our household.
Did you ever get anybody that came round to the house and meetings ever happen there? Did your
Uh,
friends go, oh my God, look at your dad on TV?
no. My friends. I did have friends that visited the house, but nobody really clocked who it was,
Because
or
he's
what
too
he did.
quietly sitting in the corner, nobody's even noticed.
Yeah, yeah, and I didn't make a big deal of it either. I didn't say who he was, and even to this day, unless somebody sort of like says or asks me, who is your dad, or I've heard your dad is so and so. I don't. It's not something that I speak about. And only the other day I met somebody, and I think my wife told him who my father was, and he said, "Is your father Bill Morris?" So I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, you kept that quiet, didn't you?" And people on sometimes on Facebook as well, they sort of like say, "Why didn't you say anything?" sort of thing.
And
So
but as you said,
yeah,
it's because it's your dad, you don't stop to think of it. But, for your children and anybody, that is it's major because it's
but
not,
yeah,
people
sure,
can be on television and stuff, but it's not being an actor, but it's not the same because he had to carve his own way out amongst all of the racism that we knew that was
yeah,
very prevalent, still
it
is, but
was.
certainly more then.
Yes, well, I got a real sense of that when he went for the top job, the job as head of the TNG, the union. Then I knew what he was, what he
Yeah.
was about, because the amount of stuff that came out about him, I'm talking about racist stuff now,
Mm.
um, from the opponents who wanted to have somebody else in the position.
Yeah.
It was really, really terrible. And, he didn't sort of like complain to me, but, we could see it going on. We could see it in the papers. Yeah, so that was hard. And I got a sense of, a real sense of what he was doing and,
Mm.
you know, and all that, and its significance as well.
I love it. I admired your father before I even knew your name.
All
So,
right, okay. Oh,
so
that's
when I
lovely.
read that, I went, "What? That's his dad." I thought, "Oh, actually, calm yourself down."